Australia is a land of dreams. From the sacred legends of the Aboriginal Dreamtime, when the Great Spirits conjured the coral reefs, rainforests, and red deserts, to armchair travelers who describe Australia as their dream destination, the land down under deserves all the hype. The world's smallest continent and largest island, Australia is almost the same size as the United States but with a population the size of New York, is also a land of staggering contrasts and spectacular beauty. Along the coast, you can explore vibrant cities, vast sand islands, ancient rainforests, and one of the planet's most awe-inspiring natural wonders, the Great Barrier Reef. In the outback, rugged national parks and red earth deserts offer the ultimate in adventure travel. Top it all off with a laid-back feel and friendly people, and it's no wonder Australia scores top billing on bucket lists around the world. Create your own adventures with our list of the top attractions in Australia. 1. Sydney Opera House, New South Wales. Mention Sydney, Australia, and most people think of the Opera House. Shaped like huge shells or billowing sails, this famous building on Sydney's Bennelong Point graces the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites and is one of the world's great architecture. The location is stunning. Water surrounds the structure on 3 sides, and the Royal Botanic Gardens border it to the south. Today, you can enjoy a performance here, dine at one of the restaurants, or see the highlights of the Sydney Opera House on a guided tour. The structure encompasses theatres, studios, a concert hall, exhibition rooms, and a cinema. Touring the interior of the Sydney Opera House is rewarding, but its striking architecture is perhaps best appreciated from a distance. Currently, the Sydney Opera House is undergoing a 10-year, $275 million upgrade, but it will continue to operate during the restoration. 2. Great Barrier Reef Marine Park, Queensland. You can't leave Australia without seeing the Great Barrier Reef. This World Heritage listed natural wonder is one of the largest living structures on the planet. It's so vast, you can see it from outer space. For divers, snorkelers, island aficionado, in 1975, the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park was established to protect its fragile ecosystems. These include more than 3,000 coral reefs, 600 continental islands, including the beautiful Whitsunday Group, 300 coral keys, and inshore mangrove islands. One of the 7 wonders of the natural world, the park stretches for 2,300 kilometers along the state of Queensland, on Australia's east coast. That's about the distance between Mexico and Vancouver. Not surprisingly, the Great Barrier Reef is one of the best places to visit in Australia for diving and snorkeling. The astounding array of marine life includes soft and hard corals, more than 1,600 species of tropical fish, sharks, dugongs, dolphins. Travelers have many options for visiting the Great Barrier Reef. You can cruise around the islands, hop aboard a sightseeing flight, take day trips to the islands, or snorkel and dive the reefs. 3. Uluru Kata Tjuta National Park, Northern Territory. Deep in the heart of Australia's Red Centre, Uluru, formerly Ayers Rock, is one of the most photographed natural wonders in the country. The striking red monolith forms the centerpiece of Uluru Kata Tjuta National Park, a World Heritage Site jointly managed by Parks Australia and the traditional landowners, the Anang people. Uluru, meaning shadowy place in the local Aboriginal dialect, rises to a height of 348 meters from the surrounding plain. Most of its bulk is hidden beneath the Earth's surface. Also in the park are the red dome-shaped rocks called Kata Tjuta, the Olgas. As the sun dips in the sky, sightseers gather to watch the colors of Uluru and Kata Tjuta transform in the shifting light. A great way to appreciate these sacred sites is to join a tour led by Aboriginal guides and rangers. 4. Sydney Harbour Bridge, New South Wales. Along with the Opera House, the Sydney Harbour Bridge is one of Australia's top architectural icons. Affectionately called the coat hanger, this impressive feat of construction is the largest steel arch bridge in the world. It was completed in 1932, 40 years before the Sydney Opera House. One of the top things to do in Sydney is a guided ascent to the top of the bridge, where you can enjoy spectacular views over the harbour and city. Rising 134 meters above the harbour, the bridge spans 500 meters, connecting Sydney's North Shore to the central business district. In addition to the pedestrian path, 2 railway lines extend over the bridge, as well as 8 lanes for road traffic, and the direction of each lane can be switched to accommodate traffic flow. For an overview on the bridge's history and construction, visit the museum in the southeastern pier. Fun fact, Paul Hogan, of Crocodile Dundee fame, Worked as a painter on the bridge before rocketing to international stardom. 5. Blue Mountains National Park, New South Wales. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, beautiful Blue Mountains National Park is a hiker's paradise and a popular day trip from Sydney. It lies an easy 81-kilometer drive west of the city. Named for the blue haze emanating from the many eucalyptus trees, this stunning park protects more than 664,000 acres of wilderness. On a visit here, you can explore dramatic gorges, waterfalls, Aboriginal rock paintings, and 140 kilometers of hiking trails. The most famous attractions in Blue Mountains National Park are the towering sandstone rock formations called the Three Sisters. Other highlights include the Katoomba Scenic Railway, the world's steepest, which whisks passengers down the Jameson Valley through a cliffside tunnel into an ancient rainforest, and the Skyway, Scenic Cableway, and Scenic Walkway, which all offer elevated views of the dense forests. Hiking, abseiling, rock climbing, mountain biking, and horseback riding are all popular things to do in the park. 6. Melbourne's culture, Victoria. Melbourne, Australia's second-largest city, is a popular stop on many Australian itineraries, especially for culture vultures. Galleries, theatres, restaurants, shops, and its distinctly European feel are the main draws of this sophisticated city. On the Yarra River. It's also a green city, with parks, gardens, and open spaces occupying almost a third of its total area. The cultural highlights of Melbourne are many. Gape at the masterpieces at the National Gallery of Victoria, watch a performance at Arts Centre Melbourne, or head to Federation Square. Here, you can browse Australian artworks at the Ian Potter Gallery and learn about the nation's screen culture at the Australian Centre for the Moving Image, ACMI. Feel like getting back to nature? Follow the Aboriginal Heritage Walk at the Royal Botanic Gardens. And if sports culture is top of your agenda, catch a game at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. In summer, cricket is the sport of choice. In winter, it's Australian rules football. Melbourne is also rich in history. You can see it in the grand Victorian buildings funded by the Gold Rush, and you can feel it as you shop in the elegant arcades and the Queen Victoria Market, which has been selling goods to Melbournians for more than a century. 7. Bondi Beach, New South Wales. Bronzed bodies, blonde sand, backpackers, and surf. Throw it all together and you get one of the world's most famous beaches. Only 15 minutes by car from Sydney's city centre. Bondi Beach is a great spot for a taste of Sydney's beach culture. Bask on the golden sands, surf the breaks, or take a cool dip on a hot summer's day, but stay between the flags. Few cities in the world lay claim to such an enticing slice of sand and sea so close to the city. No wonder it's one of Sydney's best beaches. And you'll find some history here. 2. Bondi hosts one of the oldest surf life-saving clubs in the world. Away from the shore, you'll find plenty of things to do in Bondi. Take a stroll along the Bondi to Bronte Coastal Walk. It begins at the southern end of the beach and follows the coastline for 6 scenic kilometers along sandstone cliffs. And if you work up an appetite, you'll find plenty of cafes and restaurants nearby. You can also hunt for bargains at the Sunday markets or swim some laps in the ocean pool. Bondi also has a wild side. Crowds of tourists and locals gather here to celebrate and ring in the new year. It's a favorite spot for travelers. A word to the wise, if you're taking a dip at Bondi, make sure you swim between the red and yellow flags. Strong rip tides often sweep unsuspecting swimmers out to sea, especially at the southern end of this kilometer-long strand. There's a reason the Aussies made a reality TV show called Bondi Rescue. 8. Daintree National Park, Queensland. A wet tropics World Heritage Area, Daintree National Park in far north Queensland is among the most ancient ecosystems on Earth. The area belongs to the Eastern Kuku-Yalanji Aboriginal people, and many of its natural features hold great spiritual significance. The park encompasses 2 main sections, Mossman Gorge, where crystal-clear waters gush over granite boulders, and Cape Tribulation, one of the most beautiful places to visit in Australia. Here, rainforest meets reef along the white sandy beaches of the Coral Sea. This stunning stretch of coast is one of the few places in the world where 2 of the planet's richest ecosystems converge. The park's astounding biodiversity includes more than 18,000 plant species and a vast array of animal species, including the cassowary, crocodile, giant blue Ulysses butterfly, and the secretive Bennett's tree kangaroo. The resort town of Port Douglas, just south of the park, is a great base to arrange wilderness safaris into the park. 9. Kakadu National Park, Northern Territory. When it comes to wilderness areas, Kakadu National Park showcases the best of Australia. Covering more than 19,840 square kilometers in the Northern Territory, it's the second largest national park in the world. Within its borders, you can explore monsoon rainforests, mangrove swamps, rivers, gorges, ancient rock paintings, wetlands, and waterfalls. Kakadu is also home to an astounding diversity of wildlife. In addition to the many mammals, reptiles, and fish, more than 300 different species of birds make their home here, and both freshwater and saltwater crocodiles lurk in the wetlands. To explore the park's diverse ecosystems, hop aboard a cruise along the waterways, or hike the vast network of trails. You can also take a scenic flight. Visiting Kakadu National Park from Darwin is easy during the dry season. It's about a 3-hour drive from the Northern Territory capital. In the wet season, November to April, many roads and attractions close due to heavy flooding, but the waterfalls and wetlands can be at their best. 10. Broome, Western Australia. Broome, in Western Australia's north, was once the pearl capital of the world. Today, it's a booming tourist town and the gateway to the spectacular Kimberley region. Broome's star tourist attraction is Campbell Beach. This seemingly endless stretch of white sand and turquoise water is one of Australia's best beaches, and riding camels at sunset is one of the most popular things to do here. Tourists also flock to Town Beach to witness the staircase to the moon. This phenomenon occurs during certain conditions between March and October, where the moonlight creates an optical illusion of steps leading to the moon. Other Broome highlights include the red cliffs of Ganthome Point and the Malcolm Douglas Crocodile Park, where you can get up close to crocs, cassowaries, and kangaroos. If you're looking for things to do in town, you can brush up on some local history at the Broome Historical Museum or catch a movie in a deck chair under a star-studded sky at Sun Pictures. Nature puts on an unmissable show at Broome's Campbell Beach. Feel the snow-white sand between your toes as you wander this 22-kilometer stretch of coastline. Beginning life as a pearling town in the 1880s, Broome was a wild frontier, attracting workers from Indonesia, Malaysia, China, Japan, and Europe. Along with strong First Nations cultures, these influences are all here today, giving Broome a vibe unlike anywhere else. Red dirt sits beside Aqua Ocean, pearl boutiques rub shoulders with laid-back breweries, and activities range from world-class diving to unhurried camel rides. Please subscribe to our channel.